Hi all, welcome to my channel, welcome to my world. This is the world of Wayne. Today I'm going to be doing the final 4 stages of Pack 2 of the Agora Models release and build the Apache AH-64 attack helicopter. So if you remember, I did split Pack 2 down into a Part 1 and Part 2. If you haven't seen Part 1, it's up here. We do have a little correction to make first off, and I'm going to jump into that now. And that correction is basically, this was pointed out to me anyway, to be honest with you, and it wasn't until I spoke to the folks at Agora Models at Telford that I realised that I did make a mistake as well. This little cushion at the back here is the wrong way round. It should be the same as that one there. The instructions did actually tell you to put it in that way, but they realised there was a mistake and they have now flipped it. So I need to get that one off and turn that round. Now, I very rarely use a lot of glue in this, so this should be quite easy to take off. As you can see, I've got my scalpel down there. I'm just going to twist it, and it looks like it's going to come off no problems at all. Then it's just a case of putting this around the other way. And there we go. That's that little thing corrected. And now another thing from Pack 1 that we did, if you remember, we put these little decals around this section here. Now, I've done it on all of them, but then I thought to myself, when we put these into the chute, we're actually going to be doing one of those now, they're just going to rub off. And I thought, well, perhaps I should paint these on then and put them on there. But to be honest with you, because they go in so tight, even the paint's going to rub off as well. Now, I've got no intention of taking these out and in of where they're actually going to go. So I'm probably going to omit putting that decal on to those sections there. But obviously, your model, you can do exactly what you want with it. If you do want to get this for yourself, it is available for Agora Models. I have put a link in the video description, and there's also that QR code on the screen. So 4 stages today, starting with stage 9. Without further ado, let's get cracking. So to start this stage, I'm going to need the rotor blade that we created in Pack 1, looking like this. So let's open stage 9. And this is what I was talking about with these things here. Obviously, when they go in here, they do go in quite tight. So anything that I put here is eventually just going to rub away anyway. We're doing this bit in the end, so I'm just going to leave that to one side. And I need to make sure I've got this center mount for the rotors this way round, so the hinges are on this side so they can fold up like that. Okay, so on this side, I've got the detail that looks just like this here. And that's just going to go underneath this section. Perfect. And it's held in with a GP screw. This is one of these flange screws here. And that's perfect. That's in. Now, on top of it, I've got this section here, which is just going to be mirroring what we've just put in. And that should clip in just like that there. So this is able to move. Put that to one side and bring over the rotor that we made in Pack 1. Now, if you have a look at the end of this rotor, we've got one side which is quite narrow, one side which is around about 1 millimetre, I'd say, out. We want to make sure that that side that's 1 millimetre out is at the bottom. And I need to take one of these brackets here. Now, they are slightly different to each other. This one's got a little lug just coming out from the middle just there. We want to make sure that that's away from the rotor that I'm about to put in. So having this little pin facing out, it's going to go into this side of the rotor just there. Now that's going to be held in by a pin, which is actually attached to these sections here. So I can just get my godsend sprue cutters, cut one of these pins off, and get this into place. I do have my duckbill pliers here just to help get that in. Perfect. And that's that pin in like that. Now I need to put one of those brackets in the other side again, making sure that the lug with the pin on is outwards and facing out here. So that's going to go in just there like that. So the lug on that side's facing that way, the lug on this side's facing that way. And once again, just put that pin through the top. Now bringing over what we created first off, this is now going to go into this section like that. Probably best on the top camera, but it's going to slip in just like that there. Now I need to take this long screw that I've got, and that's going to go through the bottom of this section. So it comes out through the top there, and you will see that we've actually got the shape for a nut to go in here. So I'm going to put the nut in and get this screwed into place. Just like this. Excellent, that's into place. And then as you can see, we've got 2 more pins to cut off here. And they're both going to go in to hold these arms into place. So one through that side and one through the other side here. So that's perfect. That's that rotor blade attached now. I can put that to one side. Now we're going to be making another rocket launcher now. So in these 2 spots here, I'm going to be putting some glue. And I do have these magnets in. And what I want to do is make sure that these magnets have the red side facing up. So when they're in, they look just like that. I want to take one of these parts, which are going to go into the middle. Now we do have a flat side, so we just need to make sure we align the flat side and then push that in. And then do the same with the other one here. Put on the other end of the rocket launcher here. So that's in like that. And then I do have some decals to put on this now. So, once again, I've got my little Pringles lid here, which I'm just going to put a little bit of water in. Not a lot. And then get these in place on the rocket launcher. And that's these decals in place. So, looking like that. And then eventually these are going to go into here like this. But you're not going to see them really, so I'll leave them out for now. But this actually sits on these points just here. Just like that. But that's all there is to do in that stage. Now we do have 2 of these rotor brackets left over. And that means we're now going to be creating another rotor blade. So once again, I'm going to be taking this piece here, which has got the larger extrusion here, about 1 millimeter. That's going to be going on the bottom of this here, just like that. Turn it over, and I've got this other piece here, which is going to be going on the top. So that is how that looks. It pretty much mirrors what we had done on this one here, just so you can see. Once again, I've got these pins which I'm going to cut off. And I'm pushing these through, which is going to hold them in. So one that side and one this side. Now make no mistake, this bit is quite fiddly. That's why I'm wearing my magnifying glasses. Now just like we did before, I'm going to be taking this bracket piece and making sure that the tab side is facing out. We're going to have one going in that side there. Perfect. And the other one going in, oh, let's find that tab. This way round with the tab facing out again. Perfect. So that's in just like that. Now bring over what we were working on last time, and this time we're going to be working on this arm just here, one that hasn't hinged, just this one here. And I'm going to be taking this section again and pushing this underneath, just like that. It's held in with a flange screw just there. That's a GP screw. Then I'm going to be taking its partner, push that through the hole at the top here, and then push these both together. Excellent. And just like I did last time, I'm going to be pushing this onto this section here, which means I need a nut into the top, and I'm holding that in with the screw from the bottom here. All that's left to do then is to put the pins down each side to hold this in, and one on that side. And there we go. We've now got 2 rotor blades in, looking just like that. I can now put that to one side because I've now got these 2 parts which I need to put together. So just seeing how these go, they're going to look like that when they're together, but I do have to put some decals just onto the top here. But one of them is actually going to the inside of this top section here. So it's going to be this one here that's got lots and lots of writing on it. So let me cut this one off. It's basically going to be fitting into a little square area just here. So I'll get some water in there. To be honest with you, it's something that you're not really going to see. It's black. It's black on green. Just going to squeegee that out. And I don't know if you can see that, but that's in there like that. On the top of this section, a couple more decals, which are just saying warning. So that is how that looks. That will then fit just on top of this section like this. And then I've got decals to put on either side here. So let's put those on. So the one that's got these decals here is going to have the forward end decals on. So let me put those on. So that looks like that. And then on the back, we have got very similar. I've actually got 3 decals to put on the back ones here. So I think it's just a case, just like I did for the front, is to put them on, show you what they look like. And then that looks just like that there. Excellent. And that is that stage complete. In stage 11, we're going to be assembling the 3rd rotor blade. Seems like every stage we are putting together some ornaments, as you can see here. But basically, this is going to be exactly like last time. Going to have it this way round and put this piece looking like that on top. Then turn it over. And then on the other side, we'll have this piece looking like this. Which means I'll put this together with these pins. So when they're in position, they should look like that. Once again, get these brackets in. Making sure that little bulge tab is facing outwards. Bring over the rotor blade again, and this time I'm working on this one here. And I'm going to be putting this clamp on the bottom again, holding that in with one of the flange screws. Put the top bracket over. Bring this over here like that. And again, I've got the screw and nut to put in. Nut at the top. Then the screw from underneath. Perfect. And then finally, just attach these brackets. Now, you know what? It wasn't until I got to the end stages that I realised these blades need to be flipped over. They're the wrong way round. So the way to do that is just to take these pins out here, take the screw out for the middle, and just flip them round. You see, I make mistakes. Tired of saying this on the channel now, so you don't have to. In fairness, they didn't actually give us a close-up so we could see which way round they go right until the very end. So I'm not taking the blame for that. But that's what way they should be round, so that this tilted section here is on my right. I'll just need to change these two now. And there you go. They're all changed around there. Put that to one side. And I'm making these missiles now. This is going to be fun. So basically I'm going to be taking the shaft of one of them, putting that in the end here. Don't need to glue it. Do the same on this one here. Perfect. Now on top of these sections here, we've got some tiny pieces, so I need to cut these off. And I need to glue some of these pieces in. So this tiny one first is going into the hole here. And this is very tiny. So it looks like that. Then a bit more glue, because the other one is going at the front here. Like that there. I'm going to do that on the other missile. And that's the second missile done as well. And then guess what? We've got decals to put on. So I think what I'm going to do, this is what the decals look like. I'm going to soak these and then I'll show you where these go. Now if we've got this top on here, the decals are going to go on this side here. So let's get all these in. So that's how they're going to look. I'll do the same on the other one. And there we go. That's both of those done. Now one of these, let's move that over, can be stored in here. So let's just take this apart. And it can just go in there just like that. Perfect. But But that's all there is to do in that stage. Now you'd think we're going to be doing the last rotor blade, but no, we're not. We're actually going to start the engine. So let's just get these parts out. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to be taking these two parts here and I'm going to be piecing them both together. They just push in, so just like that, clipped in. Now I'm going to need my glue handy, because I'm going to need to put some glue just into these two holes here. One there, and one at the front. So I can push this in. Excellent. A bit more glue. And in this larger hole here now, I've got this detail to put in. Probably didn't need glue on that one. That was a really tight fit to get that in. The next detail I've got is like this. It has got a D-shaped pattern. Now I'm not gluing this. I wanted to see how tight this one goes in. I mean, you can glue it, but that's gone in really tight, so I'm not going to glue mine. The little nipple here should just fit into that channel just there. Put that to one side. And I've got this little piece here now, which I am going to be gluing a little tiny section to, just into the hole that I've got there. It's a little L-shaped piece. I'm going to put some glue in there. Get this piece in. So that looks like that. Then these pieces are going to go into the two holes that we've got vacant at the back. Again, I'm not gluing them in because they go in really tight. But that looks like that now. Another little D-shaped part here, tiny, going into this hole at the back. So that looks like that. And I've got a pipe to go in here. Again, I'm not gluing this pipe at the moment. I just want to see how this goes. It seems to just fit over this section here, like that there. Now, just looking at how that fits in there, I think I will actually put a bit of glue in that. If anything, it's going to stop it running off, but that's looking like that. I'm going to put a bit of glue just in this hole here. Because I have this detail to put in. See on the top camera, that's how that looks. And then finally, I'm going to put a bit of glue in that hole just there, or the detail I just put in. And then one just into the hole on this side for another pipe to go in. And that's this one here. And there we go. That's in just like that. And with those in, that's all there is to do in that stage. That's all there is to do in that pack. And there you go, that's finished pack 2, and you can probably see why I split that down into 2 parts now, because there was a load to do. Now, rumour has it part 3, or pack 3, has got even more to do, so I'll probably be breaking that down even more. We'll have to see how that goes. Once again, if you like what you've seen here and you want to get this for yourself, it's available for Agora Models. Links in the video description. There's also a QR code on the screen. But I really hope you like that video. If you did, please remember to give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed already, please remember to subscribe. Other than that, take care.